Have you ever had one of those days at school where something totally unexpected happens? One that turns an ordinary kid into a local legend overnight? Well, let me tell you the story of Mario, a high school junior who wasn't exactly top of his class, but had a special talent nobody really knew about. His story starts with his history teacher, Miss Eleanor, and her perpetually broken down sedan. Every morning it was the same scene. Miss Eleanor would pull into the school parking lot, her car sputtering and coughing like it had a bad cold. Sometimes it wouldn't start at all after school, leaving her stranded and waiting for a tow truck. The whole school knew about Miss Eleanor's car troubles. It was a running joke, but you could also see the stress it was causing her. She was a great teacher, always patient and kind, and it was tough to see her so frustrated. One Tuesday afternoon, the inevitable happened. The final bell rang, and as students poured out of the building, Miss Eleanor's car refused to even make a sound. The battery was dead again. A small crowd gathered, a mix of curious students and concerned teachers. Everyone offered advice, but nobody really knew what to do. Her shoulders slumped in defeat, and she was just about to call for a tow for the third time that month. That's when Mario stepped forward. Mario was a quiet kid. He sat in the back of Miss Eleanor's class, rarely spoke up, and his grades were just average, but outside of school, Mario lived and breathed cars. His dad was a mechanic, and Mario had spent every weekend since he was 10 years old in the garage, learning everything there was to know about engines. He shyly approached Miss Eleanor and said, "Miss Eleanor, can I take a look? I think I might know what's wrong." Some of the other kids snickered. What was Mario, the quiet kid who barely passed his last history test, going to do? But Miss Eleanor, desperate and willing to try anything, just smiled tiredly and handed him the keys. "Go ahead, Mario, be my guest." Mario popped the hood, and it was like a switch flipped. The shy, quiet kid disappeared. In his place was a confident, focused expert. His eyes scanned the engine bay, his hands moving with a purpose. That surprised everyone. He wasn't just guessing. He checked the battery terminals, traced the wiring, and listened intently as he asked Miss Eleanor to try turning the key. He quickly diagnosed the problem wasn't just a bad battery, but a faulty alternator that wasn't charging it properly, along with some corroded connections. He explained it all to Miss Eleanor in simple terms, without any of the confusing jargon mechanics sometimes use. He told her exactly what parts were needed and how to fix it permanently. Then he did something even more amazing. He ran to his own beat-up truck in the student lot, came back with a toolbox, and within 20 minutes had cleaned the terminals and performed a temporary bypass to get the alternator to charge the battery just enough. He closed the hood, wiped his greasy hands on a rag, and said, "Okay, try it now, Miss Eleanor." She got in, turned the key, and the engine roared to life instantly, sounding healthier than it had in years. The crowd of students and teachers erupted in applause. They were stunned. Miss Eleanor had tears in her eyes. She got out of the car and gave Mario a huge hug, thanking him over and over. The next day, the story was all over the school. Mario wasn't just quiet Mario anymore. He was Mario the mechanic, the hero who saved Miss Eleanor. Kids he'd never spoken to before were coming up to him, asking for advice about their own cars. Teachers looked at him with a new respect. They saw that intelligence isn't just about book smarts. It's about passion, skill, and the willingness to help others. Mario's confidence soared. He started participating more in class, and his grades even improved. He realized that his passion for cars was a valuable skill, something to be proud of. The story spread beyond the school, and soon people in the neighborhood were bringing their cars to Mario's family garage, specifically asking for him. He became the local go-to guy for car troubles, all because he had the courage to step up and use his unique talent when someone was in need. It just goes to show you, everyone has a hidden superpower. You just have to find the right moment to reveal it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. See you next time.